Welcome to integer notation, the wheel or the clock face. People call this different things. Sometimes they call it the wheel, sometimes they call it the clock face. The first and most important thing is that this is not the circle of fifths. Okay, I even put that on this little diagram at the bottom. This is not the circle of fifths. So do not get this confused with the circle of fifths. Do not think about the circle of fifths in any way whatsoever when looking at this. It has nothing to do with the circle of fifths. Nothing. Okay? So, circle of fifths, totally out of our head. That's a whole different ball game than what we're looking at here. What we're looking at here is a way to represent each pitch by a number. So, and there's a reason that it's in a circle, which I'll go over soon. So first of all, let's look at the numbers. We're going to start with 0. That's important. This is how this is kind of traditionally always done. And it has some benefits that we'll encounter later. So just remember that we're going to start with 0 when we're counting things here. Okay, so as we go around, the numbers get higher. 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we use a lowercase t to represent 10 and a lowercase e to represent 11. What we're doing here, and the reason we're using a clock face, is we have to really, what we're basically going into is base 12 math. So normally when we count up to 9 and then it starts over, right? We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we go back to 0, but we stick a 1 in front of it. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, we go back to 0, but we stick a 2 in front of it. 20. Then we go up, right? So that's base 10. But with pitches, we have base 12. So we have to count up all the way to 12, and then it starts over again, right? And that's how we have to think. So instead of 10 and 11, the numbers 10 and 11, we're going to use T and E. This clock will help us count in this kind of base 12, because what we're going to do is if I say, I need you to go up 5 from 9, that is not going to get us to 14. That's going to get us to 2, okay? Because we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this is just kind of a handy way to get your head around counting in 12s, I guess. There's another word for this that's better than base 12. I don't remember it, but maybe someone who's sharper at math can tell us what it is. It's probably dodeca something. That means 12. Okay, so we have pitches assigned to each number, right? And we've got some enharmonics in there. But what this is going to let us do is let us say whether someone used a C sharp or a D flat, I don't care. It's a 1. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it a 1. Okay, so if I want to spell a C major chord, I can do that with integer notation by saying it's 0, 4, 7. So 0, 4, 7 would be a C major chord. Okay, so I want you to keep this clock face thing handy. You're going to need it going forward. Okay, it's going to be really helpful unless you're just really good at doing this in your head. So I made this little graphic. I'm going to put this as a download in the next videos or the next lesson, I guess, so that you can have this. Download this. It's a PDF. Keep it handy. Okay. So let's look at a couple different ways to use this. So in the next thing, I'm going to give you this PDF, and then after that, we'll look at how we can use this.